Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are gonna be learning Elementor. This is an Elementor tutorial, and in this tutorial I'm gonna be showing you guys how to create your own websites using Elementor. Now I'm gonna cover the basics, stuff like customizing text, customizing images, adding global fonts, adding global colors. I'm gonna show you guys how to add your own video backgrounds, gradient backgrounds, image backgrounds, and I'm also gonna show you guys a bunch of plugins that you can install together with Elementor so that you guys can get hundreds and hundreds of widgets for free that you can add to your website to make it look unique. Okay, then I'm also going to be showing you guys how to import pre-made templates by professional WordPress Elementor designers that are going to look unique, that are going to look professionally done, that you can add to your website and customize them according to your brand colors and manipulate them in whatever way you want. So just make sure you have a WordPress installation on your browser ready to go, and we get started. So before we get started, we need to install a page builder called Elementor. And Elementor is a plugin, and what basically a plugin is, it's a piece of, let's say, software that adds some extra functionality to your website. Yeah. So to install Elementor, all you have to do is to go to plugins, then click add new, then you search for Elementor, something like this. Okay, then it's gonna rank up as a first plugin right here, so you can click install now. Okay, and you can see it has 5+ million installations. Okay, now it also has a pro version, and the pro version offers you more widgets. For example, a free version can give you a basic gallery, can give you some basic buttons, some post basic customization, and a few widgets. But what you can do, we don't want to use Elementor Pro right now. There are other add-ons, for example, essential add-ons for Elementor. It's also a plugin. It comes with some templates and widgets and some extra functionality that you can add to your website. Okay, so the extra widgets, for example, you can install these essential add-ons for Elementor. As you guys can see, it has close to 2+ million active installations. Okay, then you have premium add-ons for Elementor, then you have Elements Kit, and yeah. So I think basically for now, I think we can add also these. Maybe it may come in handy as we do the tutorial. Okay, so we've installed 3. I think let's also install Elements Kit, because in the next tutorial I'll be showing you how to build custom headers and footers, and we also need these. Okay, so once they are all installed, hold on activating them. So you go to installed plugins so that you just activate them at once. Okay, it's gonna save us time. So click on this check box right here. Once you click on it, to select everything, then what you have to do is to select activate and click apply. So it's gonna install every plugin. Okay, so now it brings me to this screen, but I'm just gonna click next. I'll view all. Some of them are turned off, but yeah, I'll just click next, and no thanks. All right, so the essential add-ons plugin is right here: Elements Kit, Royal Add-ons, and Elementor. Okay, now let's create a page. Then we use Elementor to create some nice stuff. Okay, now what we're gonna do is you're gonna come to pages. In under pages, we are gonna click on add new page. All right, then you're gonna name this page, maybe let's just call it company or something like that. Oh, I'm gonna close this. I need to. Okay, I think we haven't installed the theme, that's why, but it's okay. Maybe we call this company page, something like that. Then we can click publish it again. Yeah, so once you've published it again, which means the page is live, okay, we can click on edit with Elementor. So Elementor is gonna load up. All right, Elementor has loaded up, and by default it's gonna bring up such a page, and I don't want anything like this. I want a very clean blank page so that everything is neat and clear. We haven't added any pages, so we don't need the header right now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on this gear icon for settings. Then I'm gonna select hide title, and I'm gonna select the page layout to be Elementor canvas. Yeah. So now you see that everything is blank. So I'm gonna click update. Okay. Now let me just give you a brief tour of Elementor. Okay. Right now, if you haven't added any widgets or anything, you have the Elements tab, then the Globals tab. But to access this, you need to have Elementor Pro, but we don't really need that. So let's go back to the elements. Okay. Now, sometimes these are called elements, whereas some other people refer them to as widgets. Okay. It's in the Elements tab, but once you see the search icon right here, you will see that they're actually called widgets. So you'll be searching widgets. So you have the heading widget, the image widget, text editor, video, divider, spacer, and so much more, icon list, alert. And so then once you check this drop down to bring it sort of down like this, you see now the royal add-ons that we installed has some other widgets that it installed. Yeah, some extra widgets, form builders, a mega menu, testimonial carousel, countdown. You have some charts. Okay. And once you also click on this drop down menu, you see now there are also some premium widgets for your add-ons. We don't need that right now. Then you also see some widgets for essential add-ons, the plugin that we installed. It has some extra features, the info box, NFT gallery, pricing tables, the carousel. Some of them are premium and most of them are free. Then Elements Kit also has image accordions, headings, and we're going to explore most of these, but we can't use all of them. You guys have seen there are thousands and thousands, I mean not thousands, but there are hundreds of widgets that we can select from. Yeah, but you guys are going to see how all these come in handy. Okay, now let's take a look at what is happening right here. Okay, so now let's start by explaining what this plus icon does. Okay, because when you click on it, it's going to reveal and let you select a structure of website you want to build. Okay, so for example, if the heading section, for example, your landing page, you might want to have one column, you can do that. If you want to have two columns, you can do that. If you want to have one column big and one small, you can do that. If you want to have 4 columns, you can still do that. Okay, by just selecting these simple pre-made structures, all layouts. Yeah, so if you'd take a look at a site like Netflix, right? And once you scroll, for example, you can see that this is one big column. If I'm to turn off my software called Pesticide, my Chrome extension, you see that actually to build such a layout, we have one column to the left that has all this text, then another column to the right. So probably I'll select something like this if I want to mimic such a design. Yeah, if you're to scroll down, you will see that we have one section right here and another section right here. Still, I would probably choose this layout, yeah, to build such an interface. Yeah, so as you can see on Netflix's website, they're basically just 2-column layouts like this, and scroll down, this is a single column with an FAQ page. Yeah, nothing so complex. Then once you take a look at, let me turn this off. Once you take a look at the footer, then you have 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. And probably for the footer, you may select a layout like this to make your work real easy. Okay, now let's select the most common layout, which is a 2-column layout. And probably at this point, you might want to delve into checking out some of these widgets. Okay, now the best thing to do is always to come here to the left and drag an icon, for example, the heading, then you can say maybe welcome to my website, something like that. Okay, now we've typed in the text, yeah, and this is called the heading widget. Yeah, so every widget in Elementor that you drag and drop will always have three sections. You have the content, you'll have the style, you'd have and the advanced section. Okay, now under content is where you basically add the text, where you add the links, where you manipulate the layouts. Should it be aligned, justified, left, center, or right? Yeah. Then under the style tab is where you can change things like colors. Yeah. So you can change the typography. For example, if I wanted to change this to something like let's see, a font like Bebas, you can do that under the style section. Okay, now in the advanced is where you have some more advanced settings. Okay, so you can add things like padding, yeah, that shifts text from different sides. You can have things like motion effects, for example, a fade down, where text fades down. For example, it can fade into the right and you can fade up, yeah, and all that is going on, but it's under one widget. Okay, and different widgets have different customization settings. Okay, now for example, if you have an image, yeah, when you go to the content tab, it has different settings compared to the heading widget. Yeah, because for an image you need to add an image like this. Click on an image, select an image, then it will appear like that. Yeah. Now, one other cool thing that I really like with Elementor is that you can drag these and drop them anywhere you want. Yeah. So you can drop it on top of this, you can drag and drop it on under it, you can drag and drop it to the column on the right, and it will look something like that. Okay. Now, if you have to take a look at more widgets, for example, you can scroll down, you can add a video, okay, from YouTube. For example, if I go to, I'll close that and go to YouTube, and maybe I'll look for some environment footage. Maybe I'll type in like 4K environment. Okay. Then maybe I'll copy this URL. I'll say copy link address. I'll come right here and paste in the link address, and the video will start playing. Yeah. Now to save the changes after you've done everything, you made your changes, and you basically maybe you want to come back later, you have to always click update. Yeah. And to view the changes or to preview the changes, you can click on that eye icon, and you see our website is coming up. Yeah. Not the best, but yeah. Now that you've looked at widgets, I don't know if you guys would like to check out more widgets, but probably you can add a map. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to add another section. Now let's say you wanted to add a map, yeah, but you just wanted it to be alone and covering the entire section. Okay, so probably click on this down facing arrow. Then what you will do is that we can drag a map in here. Yeah, and by default it's gonna select London. Yeah, but you can add in your own address. For example, I can maybe, come on, maybe Brisbane. I don't know if that's actually an actual location, but yeah, obviously it's not exact, but you can add in more precise locations by copying them from Google and just pasting in the location right here. All right, so once you click update, automatically, if you had opened up this tab using this icon right here, it will just reload and you'll have something that is looking like this. Yeah, so you can add a bunch of stuff. Yeah, if you go back to the icons, to go back you click on this menu, Yeah, and you look for some widgets, or you can search for them. Yeah, now we can search for something like an accordion. So we have an accordion from you see this right here, this tag right here that says EA. Now this means that this widget is made by Essential Add-ons for Elementor. Yeah, so if I'm to drag an accordion, maybe let me add a section right here, and it's gonna be a 2 column section. Then I'm gonna come back to the menu right here and search for accordion. We have one that is from Elementor, and it's looking like this. Yeah, the free version of Elementor. But if you search again, probably there is one from Essential Add-ons for Elementor, and it also has its own the way it looks. Now I think probably the accordion from Element, because this is from Essential Add-ons for Elementor, the extra plugin that we installed. Yeah, by default it slightly looks better. Okay, however, why I like installing these extra plugins and the add-ons is because they come with so much more that Elementor itself at a basic level doesn't offer for free. Yeah, so if I'm to type in accordion again, you'd see that there's even an image accordion. Yeah, there is also an advanced accordion from Royal Add-ons. So R stands for the Royal Add-ons that we added, the extra plugin. Yeah, so let's see how an image accordion looks like. So I'm gonna drag it under here, and okay, if I'm to, maybe let me first add a section, let me first delete it. Yeah, then give it its own section, for example something like this. Then I'm gonna search for accordion. So image accordion by Elementor add-ons, Essential Add-ons, sorry. You guys see how this looks cool? Yeah, so you can click on these and manipulate them in whatever way you want. So once you click on this pen icon, it's going to open up the content tab. Then you start adding in your own images. For example, I can add in this. Yeah, then to make the changes on how everything is looking, for example, the title, we can change it to something like stuff. Yeah, so when someone hovers over it, let me take this away so that you guys can really see what's going on. And so when someone adds stuff, then it's gonna look like this. So if you add some more images, let me try to upload some more images. So minimize this from here. Then I go to this second accordion. I click on choose image. I'll upload files. Now let me see if I have some files from this previous tutorial that I put on. I like this, but these are the images I got right now. Maybe I just upload these, then see if they make sense. But they don't. Yeah, I don't know if they'll make sense to you guys. All right, but I think you guys get the idea. I don't want to include products here because it's starting to look weird. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna use this when we are doing a real demo because I think I like it. Yeah, now let's take a look. Go back to this menu icon and click on accordion once again. So we have just used this, but also Real Add-ons kinda has its own accordion that I want to experiment with and see how it looks. Yeah, I think it's the same as it does the same thing, but it's all right. Yeah, so it takes time usually to go through all these and select what you would like. Yeah, for example, if I'm to delete this, there's an image box. Let's say we search for an image box. Yeah, so we have for example these that you can add directly under here, and you can add an image. For example, if I'm to choose a stuff image that I currently have, and this is how it would look. We have a heading, we have the text and the button right here, but all these are customizable. Yeah, so I'm gonna delete everything, then we're gonna develop something that is usable. Yeah, because this is all disorganized and everything. Yeah, but before we develop anything that is usable, I want to show you guys one important thing about these sections. Okay, now if you had to drop in for example a section like this, okay, and we have to give it when you click on this section, yeah, these icons right here, it's instead of bringing up content as you saw with the widgets, let me add a widget so that you guys will understand what I'm talking about. For example, if I had a heading right here, okay, once I click on this, then the pencil icon will appear, content, and it will allow me edit. Yeah, but if I click on this section or on these columns, then probably I can only configure the layout. Yeah, but it's also important because what we can do with this, let me show you some cool things, is that you can come to the section, for example, and under style, you can add a background. Okay, now this background can be an image. For example, I can add in this image as a background. Yeah, and I know it's not visible, but to make it visible, I'm gonna do a simple trick, is I'm gonna add a padding. Yeah, we're gonna discuss padding when you're developing something real, because I think that's when it's gonna make a lot of sense. But I can say give it a padding of like 150 pixels to the top and bottom. Yeah, or maybe 200 to the top and 200 to the bottom. Yeah, so you can, once you go back to the style, you can set these display size to cover, position, center, and it will sort of look like this. Yeah, for example, if we are developing for a company of lawyers, maybe we can have some text like count on Apex. Maybe the company is called Apex, something like this. Okay, and it will look something like this. Okay, or if you're developing maybe something different, let's try something fun. Okay, click on this section right here, and probably let's say you don't want an image and you just want a color. You can click on this color and you can make this red. You can make this any color that you would like. Yeah, that fits with your brand. Or alternatively, you can add a gradient, something like this. So to change the color of the gradient, perhaps you can make this purple. And if you want to make this something like yellow, that would also be fine. You can change the location. Yeah, you can change the location of both colors. You can also change the angle. You can tilt it. You can make the gradient radial. I prefer to always keep it linear. Yeah, basically anything that you'd like. Yeah, and one more thing is that you can also use a slideshow. Okay, whereby you can add an image, for example, this. Yeah, and let me cancel this. So I'll select the no. I'll close this. I'll click on this again. Maybe select these two photos. Yeah, hold Ctrl and select them, and this can be a slideshow. Yeah, so you can configure it to display, to change after 5 seconds. Yeah, or every after 2 seconds. So making it 2000 represents 2 seconds, 3000 represents 5 seconds, and this will keep on sort of changing. Okay, so you can make it an infinite loop or just loop once, or alternatively you can use a video as a background. Yeah, now to use a video, you just have to paste in a video link, for example this link right here. Yeah, so if I'm to copy this link address and come back here and I just paste it in, okay, then I'll click on update, and let's see, you can set the start time, adjust it to something, maybe, let's see, oh actually let's copy this Amazon one. I think this one is, I don't like, it's not even playing, I don't know why, but yeah, So let's just paste that in and it will start playing. Okay, so if you have a website like this, maybe, and you want to change this to the title to something, maybe it wasn't travels company, so it'd be like Apex tours, oh, maybe I'll say travel agents, I don't know, travel agency. Now you can also adjust the fonts, the colors, so under style you can make these white. Yeah, you can still click on the title right here. You can make the typography. What's the best travel font? Maybe, let me try Playfair. Something like this. Doesn't look nice. Maybe I'll just use Open Sans. All right. Then you can adjust the size, obviously make it bigger. Oh, this is too big. Yeah. And you can have that as a background for your website. Okay. But now let's build something that is real useful. So I'm gonna close these. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do, obviously, I've told you guys, I'm gonna start off with 2 columns. Okay. And what I'm gonna do first is that I need to add a background. Okay. Now I'm gonna click on this section right here, go under style and come to background, classic, and I'm gonna choose an image and I'm gonna upload an image and I'm gonna select files, and this file is stored under Elementor right here, and this is the file that I wanna use as a background. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it a padding to the top and to the bottom. So because it's not displaying well, I'm gonna go under advanced, then I'm gonna unlink these, then I just want to create some space to the top and bottom. Yeah, so if I say something like 200 to the top and 200 to the bottom, then I come back to style. Still the image is not displaying as I want it. Yeah, so I'm gonna set the position to center and the display size to cover, so it's now looking like this. Okay, so now let's start to throw in some content right here. Now let's first add a text, for example, something like this. And I don't like this font right here, so what I'm gonna do, maybe let me just type in something, for example, correct, then a question mark, something like this. I showed you guys you can go to the style, change the text color to something like white. Yeah, then change the typography to something like a font like Montserrat, and you can make this probably, what font size? We need something that is visible, for example 36. Then the weight, font weight can also be adjusted to something like 400, or you can make it bolder to 900, but to keep it clean, I'm gonna use 400. Yeah, so if you had 100 text widgets and you have to change all these colors, you have to change all these sizes, probably you have to set the font, it would be time delaying. And one thing that I highly recommend is that you use global fonts. Okay, is that you use global fonts. Now, how do you use global fonts? You come to this hamburger menu, go to site settings. Okay, then you can set either global fonts or global colors. Yeah, so once you come to global fonts right here, you're going to select the primary font. For example, on our website, I just want to use a font called Montserrat. Okay, and I just leave it at that. Yeah, so jump out of this. Sorry, I will jump out of this and I'll click save. Okay, but then I still need to come under typography here. then probably do a few adjustments. Yeah. So in the body, I want it to display Montserrat. Yeah. Then I'll click on this again. Why is it disappearing? Under the headings, for example, H1, yeah, I'm going to select this and also change it to Play Fair. Oh, the font is called Play Fair Display for H1. And I want all my headings, almost all of them, to have the Play Fair font. Yeah. And we've worked on H1, H2. Let's also add H3 and edit the font type, and just let's make it Play Fair. All right. Okay. So now everything is set, and let's head back and we click Update and we close this. Okay. So now we've set our heading to Play Fair, but if you drag the heading once again under here, then we're gonna say count on Apex. Okay. Now I expected this to be already Play Fair, but it didn't change that. So I guess I have to do it manually. So I'll change this to Play Fair. Okay. And I'm gonna make the text white. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, I also need to increase this font size to something like 110, which I think is good enough. Then what I'm gonna do next is, I think the boldness is okay, but if I'm to take this away and I see how everything looks, I want this text to span over to the right. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust the length of these columns. Yeah. So if I'm to make this on the right, for example, under the width, I click on it, under container, under width, I click on 10, yeah, and I make this 90%. So the 90 plus a 10, it just spans the entire width. Okay. See how that's looking? Now let's add probably a text editor right here. Then I'm gonna copy in some text. For example, I can copy in something like it's gray. The text is gray, so it's unreadable. So I'm gonna come in under style, and I'm gonna adjust it to white. Then I'm gonna go under typography. Then I'm gonna search for Montserrat. Now I'm tired for searching for Montserrat and adjusting, for example, the letter spacing. For example, if I set this to 1.5, that's too huge, but I want to set it to 1.5. Yeah, maybe we'll do 1.2. Yeah. So I don't want to go through these for hundreds of texts that I'm already having on the website. Yeah. So what I do, if I'm gonna use this setting a lot, I can click on this plus icon right here. Yeah. Under typography, you click on this plus icon. Maybe you call this Montserrat. Okay. And I'll just leave this, that and that. Okay. And there we have it. Okay. So I think it's looking clean. Though I want to add a button. Yeah. So to add a button, click on this menu and I search for button. Okay. Then I'm gonna drag this button just under here. Now the button is green, yeah, and I don't like to have a green button, yeah. So the first thing actually I would like to change is the text right here. Maybe I would say contact us today. Okay. Now I can go under style. I like to change this color. Yeah. Now you have two options. You can change this to green, to blue. Yeah, but then I myself, I could have saved some colors. So these are global colors. Yeah, so you guys can see that the primary color is blue, secondary color is that, I mean the accent is that, the secondary color is looking like that. Yeah, but let's say you already have a brand kit and you already have the colors you wanna work with. Yeah, so I'll correct this was wrong. Yeah, and I'm still explaining colors, so I'll go back and let's see, you want to change these colors. Yeah, let's say you want to have a brand color that you're already working with. Yeah, so to change that, or to add your brand colors, you'd basically what you'd do is you'd get your color code. For example, I have a brown that I want to use for the buttons. Yeah, one way to do this is that you can make the changes right here by pasting in the color code. Yeah, but this would be still lengthy. Yeah, but one way to do it simply is to come under on this header hamburger menu, then come to site settings. Okay, then come to buttons. For example, if I want all my buttons to be brown, okay, I would select the background color to be this shade right here. Okay, then the text color can also be white, that's on top of the buttons. Then I can also configure the typography. Yeah, so the typography on the buttons can also be Montserrat. And let's see if we can adjust the letter spacing, something like that. Then the font size can be like 16. 16 is too big, I think I'll do 14. Then the weight can be like 400, 500, or let's do 600. And maybe increase on the letter spacing. Yeah, and I think that looks great. Yeah, and while you're here, the buttons are now okay. Each button is gonna have this color code. Let me copy this color code, because right now I've already told you guys you can set these global colors, and every time you want to make, for example, a change to something, you can come to your global colors. Maybe let's first add the custom color so that this becomes clear. Okay, so for example, the brown we used, yeah, I can click on this icon right here and paste it in right there. Then maybe I can call it brown. Okay, okay, then let's add another color. For example, if I'm to add, I'm gonna add one more color. For example, let's see what I can add. I'll add a blue. I'm just gonna copy the color code and paste. So I'm gonna click add color. Then I'm gonna paste in something like a blue, a navy blue kind of shade. Then maybe I'll call this blue, something like that. Yeah. Or alternatively, instead of adding this, you can make this dark blue your primary color. Yeah. Then your accent can be this brown. Yeah. So maybe I'll copy this. Yeah. Then add the accent as a brown. Then the text, I think the text can be, we can leave the text as it is for now, or we can give it a lighter shade. Then click on update. Yeah. So the importance of this, I'm going to show you guys later on when the website, I think, has some content. So if we delete this button, okay, I'll close out of this. So if we delete this button by pressing delete, yeah, then we add a new button under here. You guys will see that by default, it comes with a brown color that we set, and we only need to type in the content. For example, contact us today. Yeah. So you can add a link, yeah, to your contact page, but we don't have a contact page right now, so I'm gonna leave that as blank. Yeah. And you guys can see already the spacing effect is on the the text is already looking clear. And what we can do right now to demonstrate how these global colors are really, really important is to add in some other sections. Okay, so now let's add in a 2-column section. Yeah, and the first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start moving quickly since you guys have gotten a glimpse. Okay, so I can search for an icon widget and I'll add it here. Okay, now I'll click on it. Then what I will do is search for something like an icon called balance, which is a weighing scale. I think I'll go with this. Then to change its color, you have to go to style, change the color. You can either change it from here. So if you want to give it a red shade, you can do that, or click on the global color right here, custom color, and change the accent to brown. And under the content tab, you can also align it to the left. Okay. Now, while you're still here, you would want to change, for example, add a heading. For example, I can click on heading and slide it in right here. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in something like proven results. And I start manipulating this. So what I can do right here is under typography, I can change this to something like play fair display. Okay, I can make this 22 and change the font weight to something like 400. Transform can be okay. I won't play with anything right here, but the spacing can be 1, I think, and that is good. Then the primary color, you can change it to this blue that we chose, or leave it primary because they're the same color code. Now I would want to add a divider, so like a line or something. So I'll search for divider and I'll drag and drop it under results, but it's too long. I want to reduce the width, so I'll adjust the width by doing something like this. Then I can also change the color, so by clicking on the custom global icon right here, I can make this brown. And you know what, I can even move it closer to proven results by adding a negative top margin. Yeah, so that's the trick of moving things in and closer to, you know what I mean. Okay, but now I like this font, and let's say I would want to reuse it. Okay, so to do that, I'll click on the widget proven results, go under typography and click add. Then I'll save this as play fair. Yeah, then under this I would like to add some text, and to add a text I'll go back here and search for text. Okay, then I'll add in a text editor under here, and probably I'll paste in this content, and I'll go under style. I'll go and check if I have any global fonts, and remember we saved Montserrat, and it's looking nice, though the color can be black. Okay, so, and I feel like the gap between proven results and this line should be close to this, should be equivalent. So I'm gonna click on this pencil icon, go under advanced. You guys know what to do. Negative top margin, drag the thing closer until it looks approximately even, and I think that looks cool. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is I need to create 3 more of these, but I don't have the time and I'm so lazy. So all I have to do is to duplicate this. I'll click duplicate 1 time and duplicate the 2nd time, and probably I'll delete this column by right clicking on it and saying delete. And one of the fun things I can do is that I can give these columns backgrounds. Okay, so I can give this a background. For example, I'll go under style, I'll click on this, go under style and select the global color. Maybe this can be blue. I'll go to this, click on this column right here, go under style, I go under background type and change the color to like brown. Okay, so yeah, let's adjust these colors. Okay, for the heading, style, make this probably white, click on this, go to under style, probably also make this white, these can also become white. Now if these are already white and I want to make this white, so probably I just copy this style. I just right click on this, copy, go where I want to paste the style, and I'll say paste style and it will turn white. So I can do the same thing with this heading right here. I can copy it, come under style, and I click paste style. Okay. Then this icon right here, you can also change the color to something like white. Yeah, which I think really looks cool, but then they need to change. Yeah, maybe let's click on it, go under content, click on the icons, maybe search for something like a book, and maybe I can use this right here. Then I can change this to something like our expertise. Then maybe dedication. All right, dedication, something like that. And for dedication, this can change to also something like person. Let's see. Yeah, I think this icon can work. All right, I think it's looking cool, though I don't like the way it's spanning over width to width. And one trick to kind of squeeze it in is to click on this section, come on advanced, and sort of give it a padding. Okay. Now the padding I would like to give it is probably 100 pixels from the left and the right. Yeah, so if I add 100 here on the left, then 100 here on the right, let's see how that looks. I think that's okay. Now one cool thing that people like to do is they like to move these up. For example, if I click on this section icon, I go under advanced, yeah, click on the section icon, go under advanced, yeah, I can unlink these, and you guys already know by now that if I want to move these, I can just basically use a negative margin. Yeah, so I can just type in, for example, a negative margin of 41, but I think minus, hold on, I'll just drag it because now I want to type minus 100, but it's giving me trouble. Yeah, so probably let me just click this down arrow and drag it up to something like here, I guess. But you guys see that this is transparent, but I need it to be white. So I'm gonna click on this column and go under style, under background, under color. I'll just make this white. Yeah. So if I'm to take this away, then it's gonna look something like this. Okay. So now let's do some other fun things. Probably what I can do again. Now I'm gonna show you guys a complex way of nesting containers. Yeah. Containers in containers. I'm gonna click still on it to section container. Then I would like to leave some space between these. So I go under advanced, under margin, I'll unlink the values. Then on top I'll do 100, and on the bottom I'll do 100. Then right here I'm gonna drag an image widget. Okay. Then I'll click on this image right here and place it in. Yeah. Probably on the right, I would want to add something like, what can I add? A heading, for example, something like this. And I type in why choose us. Okay. Then when I go under style, remember I had already set my global font, so I can make this Montserrat. I can give it a color of brown. And as fast as that, stuff is already changing. Okay. Probably I can duplicate this, then I can say something like count on our commitment. So I'll just paste it in and I'll go under style. Maybe I want this to be dark blue, so I'll set it to primary. Then the font type can be Playfair, which I really think that's looking okay. Now let's say I'm interested in this divider right here, so I can actually just copy it, come under here, and I'll just paste it in, and this is how it would look. Yeah, so you guys see how fast it is to develop sites with Elementor. So I can add even some text here. For example, I'll drag a text editor just under this divider, place it in there, and I'll just paste in some text. Hold on, sorry guys. I will copy this and I'll paste it in. All right, and that's how it's looking, but I need it closer to this divider right here, and you guys already know what to do by now. Negative top margin, and it will look like this. Okay, now below this I can still add something like a container. Yeah, let me show you guys how to nest this. Yeah, so I can add in a container under this text right here, and in this container, actually what I can do is that I can add in another container, and to make it even more interesting, I can still add in, no, it's now getting tricky, but I can duplicate this and add in another container. Okay, now for example right here I can add something like an image, and let's see what I can add. If I upload something like, let me upload this. Yeah, so I'll select something like that. Then probably under here you can add widgets like an icon box, which is something like this. So I can choose to delete the icon, then I just stay with the heading. Maybe I put in the CEO's name, for example, Marilyn. Oh, I'll just say Mary Jones. All right. Then under here, probably I can say something like founder. Okay. Now, there's one thing that I haven't discussed, but it is so important. Yeah. Now, when you click on these columns, you'll see that they have directions. Yeah. So horizontal, vertical, and left. Okay. But now we have these columns that are going down, but I want them sideways. Okay. So what I do, I'll go to the parent column, select them, and change the direction to something like this. Yeah. And I can center align them so that everything looks as though it's on the same page. Yeah. So then it's gonna look like this, but I feel like this is too big. And what I can do is come to under content and the typography. I can make this really small to something like 14. And the description to something like also for Montserrat. Let me make it Montserrat. And also make it, I think, 14 pixels. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, so it will look kind of like this. Yeah, so really setting things to be global and it really comes in handy, global colors and global fonts. Now let's talk about templates. Okay, now Elementor by default comes with its own templates, but the more interesting ones, for example, you can click on this. Yeah, this right here, this folder icon. Once you click on it, it's gonna open up some blocks, and some of them are premium, for example these and these and these and these, whereas there are some free ones, and I can't see any free ones. Most of them are paid for, but let me see if I can. Yeah, so for example, if you select teams, most of them are pro, but these are pre-made templates by Elementor, and yeah, most of them are paid for. But let's close this and take a look at this one for Elements Kit, and we see the templates they have. Okay, so now let's go under sections. I don't want to import a full page, and you can select the category of sections. Now there are a lot. Let's say you want to add an FAQ page, but you never had the time to really sit down and create one. There are some templates right here. Okay, so let's see the FAQ section. I would select, for example, I would select this, and I would click insert. then it will take its time to load up, then it will just automatically import it on my website. Okay, so if I'm to take this away and see how our website looks, we already have a pre-made FAQ page. Okay, so all you have to do is to come in here and start editing. Okay, so probably you can come here and click on this section, go under style, change this background to a blue shade, and you guys already see now the website is done. It's looking the way we want it to. So you can come. Oh my god, what did I do? Okay, it's good now. So I'm gonna click on this pen icon and I'll go under style. Then I can change this color to something like the accents that we are using. Yeah, and you can make these modifications. Yeah, you can even change this text right here. Yeah, so to change the text, for example, what is WordPress, you can just come and click on this FAQ page, change what is WordPress to what does Apex do. Yeah, then you can type in something right here that your company does. Yeah, so I'm just typing blah 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 blah, and it'll appear in your FAQ section. Okay, now let's say you still want more. Yeah, then you go under Elements Kit again, but this time around click on this. Maybe now you wanted to add a testimonial, so you go under a testimonial and you select a testimonial. So there are some pre-made templates, many of them again, and I'm gonna select, okay, this is premium. Let me select a free one that we can use. I'll select this. Okay, then you can click insert and it will import. Yeah, so now you can also make changes to these. Basically you click and you can change the styles right here. You can do a lot of stuff with these extra plugins that we installed at first. Yeah, so let's say we added the FAQ page, but now let's see what Raw add-ons has. For example, it requires to install another plugin right now, but I think this tutorial is too lengthy for me to have another plugin installed. Let's see what Essential Add-ons has. But one plugin that one of the templates that I always like to use is the Elements Kit. Yeah, so once you come into the sections, by the way, you can import a full page, though I like to import sections by section because there are certain aspects or of a page that you may not like. Yeah, so and by the way, these guys also have footers. Okay, now for example, there is this. Okay, and I don't know if we'll build one from scratch, but probably we will. Yeah, so now you guys see that you can actually import a footer. And one thing maybe I'll do is that I'll just click on this section right here and make sure these colors are our blue colors that you're using, and I'll do the same for this section just to keep things uniform. Okay, and once you take a look at how the website is looking, it's really looking neat. Yeah, so you can remove the sections that you don't want by simply closing them like this. Yeah, and to undo that, I'll just click Ctrl Z and to just come back right in. Okay, so now I'm just gonna click update. Yeah, and once it updates, I can click on this view icon, preview, and this is how it's looking. Yeah, so you guys can spend time in Elementor to kind of try these templates. Yeah, I've given you 3 plugins. Yeah, that actually you can rely on this Elements Kit and the Royal add-ons for Elementor. Okay, and you guys will just be fine. Okay, now maybe One last thing that I would like to tackle, maybe you want to export this template. Let's say you've created it, the FAQ page right here, and maybe you want to share it with your colleagues, or you want to reuse it in another page. For example, right now it's at the home page, but you may want to include it in the maybe support page. So all you have to do is to right click on it and click on save as template, then say FAQ, then click save. Then it's gonna show up. Okay. Or another way to do that, you might want to actually export an entire page. So you can click on save as, then click save as template. Maybe you say company page. Okay. So in case I want to share it with you guys, I can export this. Once I click save, I can then download it. Once I click on export, for example, or add and save my changes. Let me just click update. Okay. Now, if I save it as a template, maybe company page, something like that. What I can do is that I can come here and click on export. Then I can download it, put it in my YouTube description. Then I share it with you guys, and you guys can import the template and it just work fine. Okay. So let's say I'll close this, and okay, let me bring up my navigator right here, and I'll select this. I'll also delete this. I'll delete this. I'll delete this. I'll delete this, delete this, and delete this, and also delete this and delete that. So let's say now you're having a brand new Elementor page just like this. Okay. And you have your template. I've shared it with you guys, and all you have to do is to come to this folder icon, then under templates, let's say, okay, let me just export this, and okay, let me export this, the one we just shared with you guys. So if I have it under here, and I think I could link it in the description of the YouTube video that we're making. And let's say we are at the brand new Elementor page, and I want to import the template that I've shared with you guys. All you have to do is to come under here, then click on upload, select files, and this is the file. So I want to click continue, and it's gonna upload. And once it uploads, I'll be able to insert it into my blank page. Okay. So this is the page that we just imported, and you can click on preview, and it will basically show you how it's looking. Though it really doesn't show it well, but if you click insert and apply, I'll close this. This is horrible. So when you import it's gonna look exactly as I created it. One important setting to make sure you have, if it's not importing right, is to make sure that the Elementor canvas page layout is set to canvas, or it can be set to default depending on the theme. But if it's misbehaving, then try to set it to default or to Elementor canvas. And that should be fine. So so if it's displaying like this, then probably it's your theme. And what you can do is to change this and make the page to be Elementor canvas. So Elementor canvas, it doesn't have any headers or whatsoever. It's just a plain canvas that you can work with. Okay, so it's what we used in this tutorial. All right, so now I think it's looking fine. So if you enjoyed the tutorial, guys, I think a sub, a like, and a share to the channel would be really, really great. And I'm gonna catch you in the next tutorial where I'm gonna be showing you guys how to create a customized footer for your website. Okay, yeah, catch you on the next one.